Guys, today I'm going through a bunch of old relics. I wanted to share just some of the crap that I've kept around for years. One day I'd love to have like a place to put all this, but for now it's all just been stuffed away in the closet. So yeah, I'm just going to go through some of the rigs I made, some of the cameras I broke, and there's still so much more kind of spread around, but I gathered up a good pile here and figured this was enough. I guess we'll start with this. This is my very first tripod back in high school. My teacher, I grabbed this on the first day of school, and my teacher kind of knew that I never returned it, and on the last day of school, she's like, hey, I know you took that on the first day of school, but I knew you would use it all year, and so it's yours if you want to keep it. So this was my very first tripod, and it's super beat up, and everything's broken, but it got so many cool photos over the years, and really used it well. I think a lot of this pops out whenever you open it all the way. I don't remember which one. Something pops out, but that was awesome memories on that thing. Let's see. This was our first array, which was really cool. You guys have heard me talk about the array a bunch now before I get this fan. But you have all the angles from all the different cameras that I lined up on here, and you can see where each camera used to sit. And I can go more in depth about this in another video on how the array works and stuff. But for now, this was the very first rig. It was really flexible, which wasn't helpful, and a lot of the cameras ended up being like, you know, twisting if it was like held a little bit weird if I twisted it at all. So the next rig I built was much thicker and a lot smaller as well in terms of this this side. So that was cool. Figuring it all out, I spent 8 months trying to figure out how this thing worked and how to make a good shot with it. This was a test I was doing for a certain company where we were going to build an array that was like 2 dimensions like this, but it never ended up working out. It was just kind of like 3D map an entire area with several different areas so you could kind of bounce to each thing around it. But anyways, that was kind of a lost cause. This one's amazing. This is my very first pole cam. So back in high school, I didn't have like, they actually didn't really sell pole cams for action cameras yet because GoPro was a brand new thing. And I had found this, or I think my old roommates gave it to me or something, but it's basically a pipe cleaner, or not a pipe cleaner, but a drain cleaner, right? So you actually hook your hose into the bottom here, and then it shoots water out the top. I had a little nozzle, and what I did is I just, taped it all up for it to be black, and then I put a little GoPro mount on here to hold the camera, and it was kind of cool because this moves, so I could actually move the camera on the top and then get the right angle. But I kept it all these years. It's super nostalgic as well. I love this thing. I actually just found it. I haven't seen it in probably 5 years. It was in the back of the closet. This is a little bit newer of a item. This is called the Yayu. He's the best boy. He's a chunker, and he loves the camera. He loves FaceTime. This was really cool. My buddy Aaron gave me this. This was kind of the start of like extending to a bigger, longer pole cam. I had taped my 270 Pro on the end of this, and was able to get the longest pole cam I had yet. And as I talked about in another video, I was making my own pole cam when S-Dons came out with his F-Pole V. So this was kind of the inspiration behind that. So that was cool. I still have this, and it's actually really nice. It's so thick you could mount a DSLR on here and feel comfortable with it still. It's not that long, but it's like 8 or 9 feet. This was the first spinning mount that I made for the Red. Actually, the only spinning mount I made for the Red. It's really rusty right now, but I used a wheelbarrow tire. Just like I did in Australia with Anthony Walsh at the Athlete Summit, we had mounted a car wall on top of the car when we were doing the drifting with all the athletes. And so I used the same exact design, basically, and built this so that a tripod would go on each end, and then a counterweight right here, and then the Red would clamp on here, so you could rotate around your object, which was really fun. Kept this in case I ended up needing it for something else. You never know. Since I'm keeping all this other stuff, I figured I might as well. This one was a little mini rig. I brought this on the Virgin Voyages trip. It's actually, no, I didn't. I built this for basically like a gift to like bounce back and forth. It's a mini array, and I had all these dots in here so that when I clicked it, when I pressed this down, it would click the shutter on all the cameras, and it would do a mini array like this, which was kind of fun. Just a little, prototype, like a little research and development thing, which it did work. Although getting all the cameras pressed at the same time and in sync, it didn't really do it like I wanted, but the thought was there. This is really cool. This is one of the original GoPro spinny mounts that I was able to keep after working there. Travis Pinn made this back in the day. Shout out Travis, got a lot of inspiration from you building your epic rigs back in the day. And yeah, teaching me some of the ways through his rigs. But this was super cool. This is like literally a wheel from a scooter, and he was able to put this, you know, on the athletes' heads. And I think like Tom Wallish wore this and some of the very oldest spinny mount content to him, like doing crazy tricks and stuff. So this thing's seen a lot of action and is very cool. I had to keep it all these years, and I've even used this carbon fiber pole for other things as well. But we love that. That's a fun one. This is actually hilarious. Over all the years, I kept a lot of GoPro stuff. Or like, you know, it was just given to me throughout the years. This was from an event. We got beanies and hats and shirts and blankets and jackets. There's like 5 or 6 more jackets in there, maybe more. But I'm just gonna sell all this stuff at some point probably. I've held on to it for all these years and don't really know what I'm doing with it. But lots of cool memorabilia in there as well from all the years. This is a fun one. So this is same thing. Tons of GoPro crap. It's an absolute mess, but just stuff from all the years. 3D cases, prototype cases, like a million things, right? We had gone on so many different shoots, and then they were about to recycle a bunch of stuff, and so over the years everything kind of accumulated, and yeah, just kind of stacked up. For a long time I was flying the Phantom 2, and I went through 3 Phantom 2s, and these are all the broken props that I had from all the crashes, which was fun. I figured I'd keep those just for funsies. Lots of money wasted. Yeah, man, there's a bunch of crap in here, and yeah, just cool things, good memories. This was Adams. He was doing multi-camera testing and stuff like that. So this is just a bin. I would actually really love to make like a sculpture out of this one day and glue a bunch of stuff together. Who knows? I don't know. I kept it all just for fun over the years. There's more GoPro things, GoPro wax. Super random. Yeah, mouse pads down here that they gave us. Here is, actually we'll jump up here really quick. This is some fun stuff. This was the first ever 360 camera that I made. I couldn't, like, they had just come out with the Omni, and you know, the Omni was like super expensive, and then you'd have all the cameras to put in it and stuff. And so I just made my own. This is just a file and a block of wood, and I just double-sided sticky taped these all on here. And they're actually, most of them are close focus cameras, so I could actually focus like really close and have like a macro 360 camera, which was pretty cool. It did work, and I have some test clips from it where I put it in a bush where it was surrounded by everything, and you could actually feel like you were like an ant or an insect, which was cool. So obviously I had to keep that one all these years. That's a really fun one. This was a super old, I had this rig where I made a tripod out of painter poles, so it was like 20-foot tall tripod, or however tall painter poles are, and this was mounted to the pole that was in the middle that was on an axis, so I drilled a hole through the middle of one of the poles, and a beam would spin in the middle around everything. And so this was the camera that was on the end, and as it spun around the tripod through the middle of the tripod, this was on the end with the counterweight. And yeah, it's just hilarious. This is before gimbals, and even a gimbal wouldn't do it properly. This was hilarious before gimbals as well. This was like one of the first mountable gimbals, and I had put it on a suction cup, and then, you know, there was a battery slot. Wow, I have a cork in there. There was a separate battery slot and everything, and then I don't know why felt like I needed to have a switch on there instead of twisting the wires together every time, or just unplugging the battery. But this is hilarious. Just to think, back in the day, we used to put this on our car and wear it loud and proud and get cool shots, and that was normal. So funny. Broken screens. These were cool. They used to put the GoPro in here, and then there was like rope attached to this, and you'd spin it around your head, and it would film you in slow motion, kind of like a spinny mount, but with just rope. This actually happened recently. This lava lens. I had a big mistake and blew it and freaking left the camera on top of my car, and this got smashed in half on the street. The camera was okay, and the lens was not so much. So I need to send that into Laowa and see if they can actually do anything with it. They might be able to clean it up and fix it, I don't know. But that's a fun paperweight now. We have a good old fashioned Hero 6, I believe, Hero 5 that got completely obliterated on something. I'm not sure what happened there. The Rilo, on the first shoot I had it on, I had it on the front of my skateboard and I was hyperlapsing on an e-board, and it popped off like 1 second away from home, and it got ran over right when I went flying down the road, and then someone ran it over the whole rig. So that was cool. Old egg timer. This also was on the Laowa camera as it got smashed up and broke that. This is one of every GoPro case. You guys have seen them before, but it was cool. I used to have these on display. Oh, before I forget, show them up in the corner real quick, up there. These are, we have like, what is it, 40 or 50 old Hero 2 cases all along this edge up here. They used to have Christmas lights in them and they'd light up, but over time those lights went bad, and so they're just empty now. This is the other thing that we've had for not as long. This is the Unigirl. She's a great little chuga, and she loves butt pats right now. So this is, I actually haven't gone through this yet today, so I have no idea what's in here, but definitely some cool old things, old concepts of spinning mount stuff and things I was gonna do for certain clients. There's old printed photos from back in the day still in here. My original laptop, which was fun. This was like what I was editing everything on before the GoPro job. Yeah, old pieces of art in here, just random things. It's so cool. This was an old spinning mount, electric spinning mount that I used on the roof of the car for that one shot. Old photo books and different things. There's lots of memories in here. And then we have this box right here, which I believe has so this is cool. Look, the original GoPro, the one that clipped onto your wrist. My little sister, Abby, shout out Abby, found this at a garage sale and grabbed it for me for like $1 or something. Some old hard drives that crashed back in the day, and the original lenses and cameras that I used. Like, this is also broken in half. I'm not sure what happened here. But the original fisheye lens that I shot all my night photography on, and floppies, I'm not sure, I don't think I have anything on those. My old phone, this is rad. So this was my original camera. This is the T2i Canon, and I don't think it works anymore, but it's I shot about 93,000 photos on this thing, and it's just so beat up. It's so rad. I love it. This was like my life. I invested everything into this camera, and yeah, it was so fun to actually have a DSLR. Like, I was one of the only people in my school at the time that had DSLR. I might have been the only person, and because I put my investment into it and made it happen. This was the camera I bought second, which is the 7D, and I used this for years as well. You can see I just dug it into the ground every time I was shooting something, shooting star photos. Got the nifty 50 on here, but this thing's seen some stuff too. We got cracks and bruises and all the things. Everything's just so smashed, but sand. It's amazing. Yeah, so this is another great piece. And man, back in the day, I used to make stuff. I was a little entrepreneur. I was making duct tape wallets. This is a really bad one. There's better ones. But I used to make these and sell them on the school bus. And I made them pretty decent. They're all duct tape, and it'd be fun to use one of these days just to see how it holds up. That was fun. Used to sell golf balls all the time back in the day. Was always finding ways to make money. Besides that, how's this for nostalgia? Hit clip. My sister got me this for Christmas recently. What do we got? Pacific Coast Party Smash Mouth. Wow, amazing. But yeah. So hopefully, I think that's pretty much it. It's a blast to pull this stuff out even for me right now and just see everything. Continue to give me ideas of what to provide you guys next. Happy to share anything and everything about my life. And I'll keep grinding and making content. Thank you, Patreon. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next video.